So hello everyone, the goal of this video is to present to you the new mini disc from Contrinex. So it's a photoelectric sensor working with 24 volts and giving an analog signal to measure distance. You can measure distances up to 50 millimeters and you have normally no blind zone. Of course it depends also on the target, if it's black, if it's white and so on. So as you can see here, there is the voltage, and here this is the signal that you get from the analog output. It's normally between 0 and 3.3 volts. So what you can see here is the sensor itself, and then I presented here a pen to show you approximately the dimension of this sensor. So it's a couple of millimeters, and here the housing has been done very quickly into some kind of 3D printing. We can also offer the sensor without any housing that would look like this, so it's just really very rough. So if I just move a little bit closer, so you see here that this one on the right hand side here is definitely packed and finalized with the two lenses, one being red, so it's the sender, and the other one being white. For the moment it's the receiver, so red and white. And then you see this one here is just the basic PCB that you get inside. So you see here the one which is a little bit shiny here is the one which is getting the signal. So it's basically the one which is the photodiode receiving the signal, and the other one is the LED. The one on the right is the LED. And so that's a very simple one with the ASIC. So the ASIC is here in the background. So the ASIC allows anyway to have capabilities like IO link and all those things. Right now the sensors, they are without protection, without surge protection, without short circuit protection and so on. So it's a very simple one. And the idea here is to integrate as early as possible that component here. So of course here you miss the optics, but we could do here a version with the optics that you could directly integrate into a gripper or any solution that the customer has. The one here is more a ready sensor that we could also provide, of course, but the idea of this sensor is most likely to offer a kind of concept car where we offer the base and then we can directly integrate the sensor into the housing of the customer. Then let's look a little bit more on the specs itself. So then when you look a little bit here at the sensor again, so you see the emitting diode now is emitting in the red. It may look a little bit purple, but it's really red. So you see here the little spot, yeah. And if I look here on white, maybe it's a little bit better. So you would see the spot and the size, of course, which is reduced when you just come closer, yeah. So now if you look at the same time here on the multimeter, so you will see that the voltage, of course, will decrease as soon as I get closer, yeah. And the trick, of course, is when you are just touching the ground. At the moment, this demonstration, of course, is not perfect yet. We still have a little blind zone. That's why it's going up again when you approach too close from the table. The idea is clearly to work without any blind zone. So you see here there is a little spot, little moment when I rise again, approximately 0.5 millimeter from the table. The goal, of course, is to have a noded zone. So when you touch the sensor on the table, you definitely have 0, and that's it. So it will evolve from 0 to approximately 3 volts. And here, the goal, of course, is to reach also a distance which is reasonable, but not too big, because if you integrate it on a gripper, you don't want to measure the background and see what's behind. So here, the idea also is to limit the range into approximately 5 centimeters. So if I come around, so one square here being approximately 1 centimeter, and I approach it and I try to look at the same time here, you will see that at some point it starts to trigger here around 5 centimeters. Okay, so it's really at the moment it's done to start at approximately 5 centimeters, down then to almost 0, and then there is this little moment where it starts to rise again, like now. So at the moment it's not exactly noded zone, but it will be. So that was just a short video to show you a little bit the mini disc. So two versions, one which is really the one to be implemented directly at the customer, one which is embedded already in some kind of housing of approximately 12 by 30 millimeters. And then here we have the distance, which is ranging from 0 to 50 millimeters, and the light source is currently red. Any other things, please look at the data sheets. I hope this video helps you just to give you an insight on what the product looks like physically.